Okay, so anyone listening to this, you probably already know how cool architecture is, right? I mean, shaping the spaces we live in, work in, that's powerful stuff.
It really is.
But what if there was a way to supercharge that whole process? That's what we're looking at today.
Yeah. AI and architecture, specifically using this tool called ChatGPT.
We're diving deep into a blog post by Esteves Jr. He's an architect who really breaks down how this tech is changing the game. And even if you're not an architect yourself, stick around.
There's a lot here for anyone who's curious about how AI is going to shake up creative fields.
Big time. Junior focuses on five main areas where ChatGPT is making waves, starting with project conception, then moving through the technical stuff, presentations, how to make your workflow smoother.
And he wraps up by, gazing into the crystal ball a bit, AI shaping the future of architecture itself. Big stuff.
Okay, let's start at the beginning, right? Conception and inspiration. You've got a client with their dream, and then the architect brings their skills and ideas to the table. AI. How does that even fit in?
Junior's argument is that ChatGPT becomes this, brainstorming partner. It's not about replacing the architect's vision. It's about breaking through those creative blocks.
Okay, I get that, but how? What does that actually look like?
So he gives some examples of specific prompts. One that really stood out to me was, suggest ideas for the facade of a sustainable commercial building in an urban area.
Okay, I see what you mean about specific. It's not just give me ideas for a building. It's targeted.
Exactly. And by giving ChatGPT all that context, sustainable, commercial, urban era, you're getting way more relevant suggestions, not generic stuff.
It's almost like instead of one architect, you've got a whole team tossing out ideas, different angles, different design elements.
Right. And Junior emphasizes how this can really help architects, especially in a competitive field, to stand out, offer something truly unique.
Okay, so say you've got the initial concept down. Now we're into the weeds, the technical details. I bet there are a ton of little challenges that pop up there.
Oh, absolutely. Junior highlights how ChatGPT can be a total lifesaver for those technical snags that can, derail a whole project.
I've definitely been there, combing through Google for hours trying to find a specific solution to something. Junior seems to think ChatGPT can, cut right to the chase.
Exactly. And again, he uses specific prompts to illustrate this. He suggests asking ChatGPT, how do I plan a living room to maximize natural light in a cold climate? Which is way more precise.
Right. Instead of just searching living room design and getting a million random results, it feels like with ChatGPT, you've got this on-demand expert consultant for your project.
Totally. And Junior points out how this works for a whole bunch of technical challenges. Choosing the right materials, hitting energy efficiency targets, meeting all those crazy building codes.
So you've nailed the design, you figured out the tech stuff, now comes client presentation time. I think for a lot of architects, that's got to be the most nerve-wracking part.
It can be. But here's where things get interesting. Junior argues that ChatGPT can help you craft a more persuasive narrative. A&D sort of predict what the client might push back on.
Whoa, so it's like a mind reader. It knows what doubts your client might have before they even say anything?
Kinda. He gives this example prompt. Help me create a persuasive presentation for a corporate building with a focus on sustainability. Imagine having those talking points prepped, addressing concerns before the client even brings them up.
I bet that would boost anyone's confidence going into a presentation, especially for architects who might be more comfortable with the design side than the, sales pitch part of things.
Totally. And it's not just the arguments. Junior also talks about using ChatGPT to figure out the flow of your presentation, how to organize slides, even what visuals would hit home with that particular client.
It's like having a whole presentation team crammed into your laptop. Okay, so we've talked inspiration, design, the presentation, all the exciting stuff. What about the more mundane side of things? Keeping a project on track, hitting deadlines.
Oh, the everyday grind. Yeah, Junior's got something for that too. ChatGPT is a workflow optimizer.
But wait, hold on. It was a brainstorming partner, then a technical guru, then a presentation coach, and now it's going to manage my project schedule.
That's the idea. He says ChatGPT can take these huge, overwhelming tasks that come with any project and chop them down into smaller, bite-sized pieces.
Okay, so a super to-do list.
More than that, he suggests a prompt. Create a detailed timeline for the construction of a 150 square meter house, from design to handing over the keys. And it's not just timelines. Junior talks about using ChatGPT to track progress, manage resources, even predict potential problems before they happen.
So it's like a virtual project manager.
You got it. Keeps everything running smoothly so the architect can focus on, what they're best at, the designing part.
Man, this is making me rethink how I run my own projects for sure. This is getting less sci-fi by the minute and more like something I need in my life right now.
Right. It's all about using technology to make the architect's job easier and in the end create better buildings, right?
Absolutely. Which brings us to Junior's final point, this idea of AI not just helping with projects, but actually shaping the whole future of architecture.
Right? The big picture stuff. And I think that's where things get really exciting. Junior's blog post, he ends by like looking ahead, and that's where things get really interesting. He's saying AI is going to be like baked into architecture more and more as we move forward.
Okay, I'm all ears. What kind of crazy futuristic stuff are we talking about here?
One thing he brings up is generative design. That's where, the architect sets the rules like the site, materials, even the budget, and then the AI pumps out tons of potential designs.
Hundreds, even thousands, I bet. So instead of the architect starting from scratch, they've got this whole library of starting points to choose from.
Right. And it can really push the boundaries, like exploring unconventional ideas, stuff we haven't even thought of yet. It's almost like having, I don't know, a million design assistants working around the clock.
Okay, but how do you even choose? Like sifting through thousands of designs? That sounds overwhelming.
Well, that's where the architect's expertise comes in. It's not like the AI is making the final call. The architect still chooses, refines, uses their vision and the client's needs.
Okay, so it's more of a partnership, human and AI working together.
Exactly. And Junior stresses that. That's how we unlock the real power of these tools.
Are there any architects actually using generative design right now, like in real projects?
Oh, yeah. Autodesk, they make a lot of the software architects use. They actually use generative design to plan their headquarters in San Francisco.
Whoa, so I'm picturing like a super high-tech, futuristic building right.
It is pretty cutting edge, but the cool thing is they used AI for really practical stuff too, like
Yeah.
how to get the best natural light, how to make the space work for employees, even the acoustics, how the sound travels.
So it's not just about like wild designs, it's about solving real-world problems, the same stuff architects have always dealt with.
Right, form and function. And it goes beyond just the building itself too. Junior mentions a firm called The Living. They're using AI to figure out how buildings can adapt to the environment so they use less energy, have less impact.
Buildings that are like in tune with nature, I love that.
And then that idea of AI shaping the environment, it goes big picture too. Junior talks about a project in Singapore. They're using AI to model traffic flow, pedestrian movement, trying to make the whole city work better.
Wow. AI designing cities, that's next level. It shows how this stuff could impact like all of us, not just architects.
And as AI gets smarter, I think we're just scratching the surface. There's going to be so much more.
So all this talk about AI and design, it makes me think about like how we experience the world around us. Are things like VR, augmented reality, are those coming into play too?
We're right on the money. Those are becoming huge in architecture. Hey, imagine you're a client. Instead of just blueprints, you put on a VR headset and walk through your future home. How cool is that?
That'd be incredible. To actually get the feel of the space, the scale, not just a flat image.
And Junior points out, it's not just a gimmick. It helps the client really understand the design, make better decisions. And that could mean fewer changes later on, which saves time and money for everyone.
And I bet for the design process itself, architects could use VR to collaborate, like be in the same virtual space, making changes live, right?
Absolutely. Junior mentions platforms where architects can work together on 3D models remotely. It opens up a whole new world of like creative teamwork.
This is all really exciting. But I gotta ask, are there any downsides to AI taking on a bigger role in architecture?
That's a smart question. The big one people worry about is jobs. Will AI replace architects altogether?
Yeah, that makes sense. It sounds like, though, Junior and other experts, they see AI more as a partner, not a replacement.
Right. Junior keeps emphasizing it's the architect who brings the creativity, the vision, the understanding of how people will actually use the spaces. That's hard to program into AI.
So the best architects in the future will be the ones who, like, learn how to use these tools, make them part of their process.
That's the key. It's not about AI taking over. It's about using AI to boost your skills.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from like mind-blowing possibilities to the nitty-gritty of how architects are using ChatGPT right now. But I'm still curious about those specific prompts Junior mentions. Like, what do those actually look like?
Let's do it. Let's get into some real-world examples. I think you'll find them super insightful no matter what kind of work you do.
It's one thing to, talk about AI, but Junior's blog post is full of these really specific ChatGPT prompts that makes it feel a lot more real, like something you could actually try.
Totally. It takes the mystery out of it. You don't need to be a coder or anything. Just type in the right prompt and let ChatGPT do its magic.
So for that first phase, the project conception, one prompt that stood out was list architectural styles that blend industrial and contemporary elements. It's simple, but I bet it could spark a ton of cool ideas.
Right. You give it that framework, what you're looking for, and ChatGPT goes through its whole database of styles and comes up with stuff you might never have thought of.
Like having a personalized architectural encyclopedia. Okay, what about those technical problems we talked about? What prompts does Junior suggest for that?
Well, one he gives is, how do I design a living room to maximize natural light in a cold climate? See how specific that is. It's tailored to the project.
Yeah, way more useful than just Googling living room design. It's like having a consultant who actually gets your specific challenge.
And Junior says this works for, like, anything technical. Choosing materials, figuring out energy efficiency, even how to make the building more sustainable.
There's a prompt for that too. Wow.
Oh, yeah. He even suggests using ChatGPT to see how different design choices might affect the building's carbon footprint.
That's awesome, like having a built-in sustainability expert. Okay, so client presentations. I know a lot of architects, even if they're amazing designers, might get nervous about that part.
And Junior's got you covered. He suggests prompts to, like, anticipate what the client will ask, so you're ready with a good answer.
I like it. One he gives is, help me create a persuasive presentation for a corporate building with a focus on sustainability. It's almost like prepping for a debate.
And the cool thing is, it's focused on the client, their priorities. By addressing sustainability, you're showing you get them, you've thought about the impact of the design.
It's about building trust, for sure. That's huge in any client relationship.
And Junior doesn't stop there. He suggests using ChatGPT to, like, organize your slides better, even suggest visuals that'll really grab the client's attention.
It's like having a whole presentation team working behind the scenes.
It shows how AI can, level up the whole process from that first spark of an idea all the way to winning over the client.
Okay, last but not least, workflow. Architects are always juggling a million things. How does Junior use ChatGPT to stay on top of it all?
Well, he gives this example of creating a detailed timeline with ChatGPT. The prompt is, create a detailed timeline for the construction of a 150 square meter house, from design to handover.
It's like the ultimate to-do list.
And more than that, Junior talks about managing resources, figuring out who's doing what, even predicting delays. It's almost like having a project manager built into the software.
Which frees up the architect to, actually design.
Right, focus on the creative part. So I think what we see in Junior's blog post is how powerful AI can be for architects, but really for anyone who does creative work.
Totally. He takes this technology that can feel, kind of scary and complicated and makes it feel doable.
Exactly. He shows you that you can start using AI right now to make your work better, to come up with better solutions, and you don't need to be a tech wizard to do it.
It's exciting to think about all the possibilities that are out there, and as AI keeps getting better, who knows what we'll be able to do.
It's a reminder that we're all kind of figuring this out together. How do we use these tools in a way that helps us be even more creative, even more innovative?
Well, if you're listening and you want to learn more about Junior's ideas and all those ChatGPT prompts, we'll have a link to his blog post in the show notes.
And to all the architects out there, the future is happening right now. By using these tools, you can create spaces that aren't just beautiful, but also smart, sustainable, and really work for the people who use them.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Keep exploring, keep creating, and until next time, keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.